I'm glad you're feeling kinda something because there's a new kinda trend that's all over social media right now. It's been a bit of an explosion,
You mean
and
you have to be able to say, "You're kinda okay. You're kinda cool."
it's the
Like that?
no, it's being kinda chic.
Oh, specifically kinda chic.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
So,
kinda is usually not a compliment, right?
kinda's not a
No.
compliment. Nobody
Yeah,
wants to be, like, kinda cute, right? Or kinda smart.
yeah.
Um, and so kinda chic is one of those things that you're like, "Wait a second."
That rock is kinda falling down on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So but kinda chic actually can be a compliment, right?
It is in a way. It's a sort of a permission slip to do some of the things that are unconventional or that, we weren't really allowed to do in the past. And
Okay,
that's kind of cool.
okay. I'm kinda getting the idea.
So imagine things like,
Kinda clarify.
I will kind of clarify and then you can help too. So, the neat thing with this trend is that, and I've been seeing this with midlifers all the time, is that people say, I'm tired of keeping up with the Joneses. I'm not going to follow the conventional route anymore. I'm going to do what I want to do. And now all age groups are embracing this. And
Mhm,
and that's considered kind of chic. So it's taking some of the things like when people have felt such pressure to fit in, pressure to keep up with the Joneses, pressure to look a certain way or to act a certain way in certain environments. People are saying, no, it's kind of chic to do my own thing and to be my own person.
mhm.
And that's kind of cool, I think.
So it's so if I'm understanding this correctly, I'm kinda understanding. So basically, chic is all about following this fashion, doing what the wearing the clothes that other people wear, doing, going to the parties everyone goes to. But if you just say, "Okay, I'm just gonna do what I feels natural, do what I want to do," okay, may not be like full bore chic, but it's kinda chic, right? And it's sort of embracing the stuff that you actually want to do and being happy with it, right? Is that
Yeah,
kind of the definition?
absolutely. It's things that, were sort of taboo in a way, like aging. If you think back to television decades ago, the television stars who were in their 50s, 60s, or 70s were not seen as cool or hip or chic in any way. And now, one of the people who sort of drove this is Drew Barrymore, who was saying, hey, it's kind of chic to be in your 50s. And so people are embracing aging in that way. And they're saying, hey, I'm here. And it's chic to be my age.
Mhm. Okay. I've also heard that kinda chic is also about, like, embracing imperfections.
I think it is. Um, think of anything that you have been doing or experiencing that isn't necessarily on the straight and narrow.
Mhm,
And imperfections might be things like, you go out into public and what you might have thought was a flub turns into being, hey, I'm going to just live my life how I want to live.
mhm.
That kind of a thing. How have you heard about kind of chic being used?
Well, I've heard about it, like, one is with, like, self-care, so, like, setting limits or boundaries. Like you said, not caring what people think, doing things that you want to do, not because of other people are want you to do it. Um, spending, like, a quiet morning or a quiet night doing something. You might just, like,
Yeah.
go to, a coffee shop by yourself. Previously, you might think, "Oh my goodness, I don't wanna be seen alone by myself. I've gotta be with someone." But maybe it's kinda chic just to, like, sit there at the coffee, read my book, and have my coffee, well, actually, or whatever the equivalent of coffee might be. Or, like, well, could go out a night in town, whatever, go to a club and can't hear each other talk, or it can be kinda chic just to stay home and hang out.
I love that you say that because there is somebody that said, "Hey, I went to a concert by myself." And I was
Mm,
like, it was like my mind was blown.
yeah.
Not only did I think that was kinda chic, it made that person seem powerful in a way. Like,
Mhm.
"What? You have that much confidence to go out and do that on your own?" And, when you see someone dining by themselves, it used to be, "Oh, they don't have anybody to sit with." Now you're like, "Wow, that person's got some power. They're cool with being by themselves, and they're comfortable with themselves. They're not feeling uncomfortable sitting and dining alone or doing something alone." There's a power now that's really catching on with people.
Yep. And then I've seen kinda chic being used in terms of, like, fashion or what people wear. So that's a total
Oh, yeah.
big thing. It's always been that, "Oh, these are things that are considered chic, and these are things that are not considered cool." But I've seen more people say, "Oh, I'm just gonna wear what I feel like wearing. I'm gonna start my own fashion trend, a fashion trend of one." So that can be kinda chic. So I've seen that. I've seen, kinda chic being applied to what people, like, own and what people purchase, right? So, many times people will typically buy things not just for themselves, but for other people,
Yeah.
to show off to other people, to signal to other people, to say, "Oh, this, I'm cool," and all those things like that. But it can be kinda chic just to maybe get that, cheaper item or that discount item or that inexpensive thing.
Yeah.
Uh, that can be kinda chic. Um, and then I've also seen kinda chic in the dating world because every trend ultimately will cross over to the dating world.
Ooh,
So
give some examples.
so kinda chic, of course, the dating world is full of rules. It's like there's these
Yeah.
combating rules. Like everyone's stating, they jump on social media and they say they tell women will tell women to do this, women will say men should be doing this, men will be telling men to do this, men will be saying women should do this, and like it's all over the place, right? Everyone's telling each other what to do. And so then what happens is people can be petrified. They're like,
Yes. Yes.
"Okay, I'm just going to sit here and I have no idea what I'm gonna do because I don't wanna do the wrong thing." But you can be kinda chic and just say, "To heck with it. I'm just gonna do what I feel like doing. That's what you're gonna
Yeah.
do. I'm not gonna worry about going to, like, the most posh place for the date. Gonna do what's comfortable. It might be an unusual date, or something of that sort." Um and also, there are all these rules about what to say and what not to say. So kind of she could be just talking about whatever you feel like doing, what the moment moves you to talk about. And then I don't know if you've heard about these rules. There are all these rules of what to do after a date. Oh, you're supposed to wait for so long because you're not cool if you contact someone a little too early. So,
Yes.
you're supposed to wait a certain amount of period, as and wait until and then, like, sort of push up that excitement and then finally, act like, "Ah, I'm all cool," and, "Hey, how you
Yeah.
doing?" That kinda stuff like that. But it can be kinda chic to call before you're supposed to call, and
Yeah.
it can be kinda chic to show now this is where you have the crossover of, trends, to show what's called chalance, which is the opposite of being nonchalant.
Oh, I love that.
So so it can be kinda chic connecting these different
Yeah.
buzzwords. Yeah. So lots of things in the dating world, but it seems like kinda chic can apply to anywhere there's a lot of sort of rules and expectations.
Yeah.
Society is filled with these things.
Yes.
There's also a lot of kinda chic things that you can do at work too, right? But everyone who's been to a workplace knows, "Oh, this is the way you're supposed to act. This is the way
Yeah.
you behave." But why not just kind of, if you actually like to work and you're actually motivated and you're trying to help out, you can be kinda chic and do something that's other people don't do. So
You're right. And you know what you just wrote about, in dating that just reminded me about, like, pheromone maxing, right? That's a new kinda chic way of people dating, a new
that's
trend.
that's actually kinda gross. So
Kinda gross.
So, yeah, that's more about people, like, not showering. And
Oh, not kinda
and this,
chic.
okay, I'm not gonna shower because, they believe that they have all these pheromones that are gonna get people excited.
So, yes, that is not chic. But so when we say that it's kinda chic to stop caring, that's not how far we're going,
No, no,
right?
because that's kinda not accurate scientifically. If you look at studies, it hasn't been proven that mice and ants have pheromones, but humans, it hasn't been proven that they actually secrete pheromones or can detect pheromones. So you might be just kinda smelly if you do the pheromone maxing, but we won't talk about that further because it's not about
Yeah,
that.
that's not
But
kinda chic, people,
no,
but go read his article anyway.
yes. So,
So
yes, that's kinda gross, kinda dirty, and we kinda not will not talk
but,
about.
so here are some things that are kinda chic, and one of them is not caring as much, and when, I say that, it's not caring about keeping up with the Joneses. It's not saying, "I'm gonna say or do something because someone expects me to do it."
Yeah.
And that's a difference, and we've seen, some kinda chic things, and, I'm all into midlife and older, and we're seeing people starting over at 50, and that's kinda chic. We're hearing a lot more of that as people are getting into their 50s and 60s, that people are starting over. That's kinda chic. Um, it's kinda chic nowadays to have friends who are older and younger than you, 25 years older and younger, to have an age group that's really on the spectrum. That used to never be okay for people to hang out with, individuals who had that much of an age gap, and that's kinda chic now to be seen out there and even dating like that.
Yeah, that's another, spectrum across which there's many rules, right? So, there used to be all these rules, well, I mean, there still are, people say all these rules of, like, what you should be doing at certain ages and certain
Yeah,
stages. So, I remember, in school, someone laid out to me, uh, when exactly he would meet, not to meet the person that he would marry, right? So not marry, but meet that person. He
okay.
scheduled it. So and anyway, and he has an entire life in terms of this is gonna happen here, this is gonna happen here, this is gonna happen here, this is gonna happen here. So he laid out like everything in his career, he laid out everything in his personal life, and these are the things that are this is how things are gonna work. And then there's a real pressure if you aren't following the timeline of others.
Yeah,
I've seen so many times people make these big mistakes because they feel like they really should be doing something at a
yeah,
certain so I've seen the opposite. Like, I've seen people say that, "Oh, um, it's past the time.
yeah,
They can't do something anymore. It's past the time." I see that's super common with entrepreneurship, starting a business.
yes,
So, like, you have people out there saying, "Oh, if you haven't started a company by, age 22 or something, whatever like that, something ridiculous." But the facts actually show that many people start companies. I mean, there's a story about was Colonel Sanders his real name? The guy who started Kentucky Fried Chicken, like he was in
yeah,
his 60s when he started it.
yeah, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So, that's another place where, the rules, there are all these rules and people think they apply, but they actually don't necessarily apply to the individual, right?
Yeah,
Everyone
I agree.
is unique. Everyone's life is kinda unique. So,
It is,
yeah,
and people are embracing that now, and I love that you said that about, VCs, saying, "Hey, you gotta be, you're over the hill at 22.
yeah,
You've gotta be really young," and there are people who are now specializing in funding, older people because it's kinda chic to start over again, to
yeah.
begin something new, and we're seeing that with all age groups, that it is chic to try new things, to start over, to begin again. Long ago, there was that movie, The Intern with the 40-year-old or whatever the person was who was an intern, and we're starting to see that as much more normal, and people are picking up new things, even new sports at any age, and trying and being a beginner again, and that is not easy, but it's super chic now. People are saying, "Oh, good, it's okay to fail and to try new things," and, um, it's kinda chic nowadays to ask someone, younger for advice.
Mhm.
That is something that was not chic for a long time, and the realization that people are having nowadays is that if you don't understand other generations, say you're trying to sell something, I cannot sell, a pair of eyeglasses to someone in their 20s if I don't understand what that culture's looking for. If I say, "You must wear this frame of glasses," and 20-year-olds say, "Oh my gosh, I would never be, caught outside in that." I have to understand that so that I can, sell whatever it is that I have. So people are now catching on to that, and that's kinda chic to now seek the advice from younger generations, and this is kind of the first time that's become kinda chic, and I love that.
Well, I think it also recognizes that, everyone walks their individual path.
Yeah,
So, if you encounter someone who's walked a different path from you, regardless of where they are at, what stage of their career or life, etcetera, they'll have insights that you don't have because you did not walk the same path.
yeah,
Um, so, it can be stuff that's related to stuff like fashion or that, oh, a certain generation will need to know, but also just in general, you can kinda listen
yeah.
to, from folks and, I can see how many kindas I can kinda say, but, you can kind of get new perspectives on things and yeah, so that can be kinda chic.
It's also kinda chic to, mentor people, to give away your expertise. That's a new one. We, of course, know that because we were part of the mentor project together, but that's something that really was thought there was that whole Daffy Duck way of thinking, which is that you stand on your pile of riches, including your expertise, and you gatekeep everything. We are not gatekeeping anymore, and it's kinda chic. You'll see this in social media where people are giving away their expertise, and people are really, excited about that. There's a lot more of that happening now.
I don't know if that's kinda chic. I actually think that's chic.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. I
Yeah.
take away the kinda for that.
No, I think that's totally chic, because, it's the type of thing where, I mean, I think I've seen people when they're in mentor relationships, and they work both sides in mentor relationship love it
I
because
agree.
they learn from each other and they feel good, and I've seen actually many people who that's really what's missing in their lives. They've accomplished all these things, but they feel that something is missing in their life and they don't know what it is. And then suddenly when they have an opportunity to mentor someone, that's when they get excited. I think there's been a bunch of movies like that where you have sort of um, the miserly person who's been really successful, and then they meet someone young, and then they get really excited because, they see the world a different way and all these things like that. So, yep. So that I would disagree. That's chic.
I agree with you. There's another thing that's kinda chic, and that is that people, particularly women, are not trying to look younger as much as they were,
Mhm.
but to become more interesting. So instead of it becoming a chasing all of the trends to remove the, eye bags and get facelifts and all of that, it's to become more interesting. So that's kind of chic to be a more interesting individual. And that's really neat. There's a whole new wave on social media where, experts are coming on and they're being seen as kind of chic. And that's a really cool new trend.
I think that's actually kind of great because, I think that that's a similar situation where appearance, what are the standards for appearance? They're driven by a very small group of people,
Yeah.
or they may even be driven by like businesses and industries. Like, so there's people like, some certain businesses may say, oh, you need to look a certain age. And that's because they're selling all these products and
Yeah.
whatever for you to look at age. But but you see when people try to kind of artificially change how they look, it doesn't look right. It looks kinda messed up. But when people are more natural,
Yeah.
yeah, there are a lot of people, who actually, uh, will even look more and more attractive as they get older
Yeah.
because they're actually the nervousness of youth is has dissipated. They're more confident in
Yeah.
who they are. They feel more comfortable in who they are, and that's you can see that. That's attract that will press out or overcome any, I don't know, wrinkle or whatever people worry about because that's what people actually see. People
Yeah.
actually see that okay, you feel comfortable in your own skin, you know about life better, you know about people
Mhm.
better, what
Yep.
you better, and that kind of stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting because I think this kind of chic thing also push. You're not really actually sure how many people are pushing this chic stuff. Who's really doing like? Have you ever watched those like fashion shows where people like are walking up and down the catwalk, and you're like, who the heck would wear that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Here's the latest dress. It looks like a bucket. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, "That's really cool," and you're like, "Who would wear that?"
Exactly.
Someone
Yeah.
somewhere, some in the industry decided, "Yeah, we're gonna push the fire
Yeah.
hose look or the bucket look." And so you have a small groups of people deciding what's actually attractive and popular and those things like that. And I think this kind of chic thing may expose some of that. It kinda may expose that, and what's actually chic may actually be what's kinda chic.
It's interesting because the new chic thing that's been around for a while is thrifting. Not just thrifting stuff for your house, but thrifting your clothing and
Mhm.
things like that. So it's people who are saying, "Hey, I'm gonna find my own chic. I'm gonna find my own way of looking, my own decor." And there's a whole different looks that are saying, "I'm gonna pull from other genres where it was seen as dated, and I'm gonna embrace that now." And that's I think we're moving forward with a lot more confidence, and that's what, uh, underlies all of this as a sort of internal confidence that we're using as our compass, and that we're saying is kinda chic, and, um, one of the things that I'm also starting to see now is that impact rather than stuff like awards or somebody having a title. Impact is actually the new chic thing. So when you hear of people talking about the things that they've done that make a difference in the world, those are the kinds of things that are seen as chic as opposed to, some kind of an award or other success ranker. And that's a pretty cool new thing, I think, that we're moving in that direction also with being kinda chic.
So how much of this do you think, I'm trying to connect several conversations or several things I've seen this past week. Someone remarked a few days ago about how, it used to be, you go through high school or whatever, and then you have like small groups of people telling everyone what they should wear and what they should do and how they should act, right?
Mhm.
They said nowadays that thing has exploded because of social media. Now, so many more people are telling everyone else what you should do, how you should act. So it's almost like, yeah, like you're attending like 500 high schools.
Yeah.
And so, a question is, how much of this kind of chic is a backlash to that? People may be getting kind of tired of being told what's cool or what to do. At some point, it gets too overwhelming because
Yeah.
some people are saying that. Like, so you have people on social media saying that, and then you've got all these kind of influencers and wellness suggesters and those things like saying they should do that, this, and that, and then you have like all these like aging and longevity people saying all these things. So there's like it's you were just flooded by stuff. And at some point, I think maybe people want to be like, I am tired of hearing everyone telling me
Yeah.
what I should do and filling my ears with these things. I'm
Yeah.
just going to do what I feel like doing. So
I think that you're right. This is a backlash from all of the other rules that are set in place, but we are seeing a backlash to this already as well because people are like, "Listen, my humble brag is gonna be better than your humble brag." And so we just love a set of rules as people. And so we're kind of embracing the kind of chic new way of being confident, et cetera, while embracing our new ways of being and thinking in a way that might end up becoming formulaic. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's what the thought is out there, that it could end up being the next formulaic thing that we're all going to say, we need to change this now.
Well, you might see kinda chic fishing, right? So people will be like, they're acting like kinda chic when they know they're not. They're pretending like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
don't care," when they actually do care, and then but they're acting like they don't care, be kinda chic so they can appear better to other people who are kinda chic, and it just goes round and round.
exactly. Yeah. So my take on all of this is it is kind of chic to embrace what makes you tick, what makes you go. And it's not kind of chic to follow all of the other people and what they think is chic, kind of chic. Find your own kind of chic as long as it's involves showering regularly. And like,
Yeah,
it's not a kind
unless
of chic dating trend that's gross.
unless that's who you are, then you kinda have to find someone
Yeah,
else.
maybe you'll find your people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it's about, it's a 2 or maybe 3-step process. One is you have to figure out who you are, who you really are.
Mhm. Yeah,
Independent of all this noise. Everyone is sort of naturally something, but then they spend a lot of their lives getting all this noise, and some people never figure out who they really are. And then once you figure out who you really are, then you decide, well, what's going to make you happy? What's going to satisfy what you want in life,
yeah,
and what's going to satisfy what you want to do from a day-to-day perspective. So, like, if you are the type of person that likes to take it easy, hang out, okay, you're not going to want to be partying every single day, and vice versa. So, I think it's really that two-step process. You have to just figure out who you are, and then the third step is really find people who are willing to allow you or actually cherish you for who you really are.
yeah,
So, that's then you're kinda in a good situation with that.
yeah.
Because then you know yourself, you can be yourself, and you have people actually supporting that around you.
I agree.
Yeah,
This is your own journey. Make it what you want, and don't waste your time trying to please others because at the end, when we reflect on everything, we really wanna be able to say, "Hey, I did some cool stuff, and I feel like I made some good impact."
yeah.
And, that's really what we should be aiming for. So, anyway,
Or 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 you can just not take a shower and just not shower in pheromone max. One or the other.
yeah, and then you may not have to worry about other people because 'cause they're not coming around.
Yes.
So, but anyway, you know what? Read, Bruce's Psychology Today articles on dating, and his Minded by Science on Substack, and you can find me on the right side of 40 in Psychology Today and the right side of 40 on Substack, and you can find us all over social media also. So, I hope that you'll check us out in other places as well. And just remember, we do mind. We really do mind.
Really, we do mind.
Take care.